Good evening, folks. I'm Lila. I'm here with Dane Val, and I will be reading from the book 6, Your Dream Visions by Dwayne, the great writer, and we will also be discussing what we've just read. So if you have any questions, so feel free to ask them. There is always conflict somewhere in the psychic realms. As a person ventures out unaware, they are leaving their body every night. Most people do not know they are traveling in their other bodies, let alone that they even have other bodies. Until a person meets with the real guides, they are usually doing a form of astral projection, a leaving of body and from the solar plexus. Then there are those who feel the sensation of rising above their body and even experiencing flying, as many of us have when we were young and unconditioned by the gravitational pull of the human unawareness. Every experience we have adds to our ability to better understand there is so much more to life than what has been created and seen on the surface world. When a person experiences the falling sensation in the dream and then suddenly wakes up, is because they were outside of themselves, and then they quickly re-entered. There is a dark force in the 3 lower levels, and it pertains to those who align themselves with it. Call this aspect of the dualistic forces. To be influenced by it, one must be willing to do so. That's very important. You've got to be willing to do what is necessary to awareness. All of us are influenced by something so much of the time. So to have the most control of our lives, it is to be able to recognize the influence and how it operates. During this lifetime, most of us will not see the influence for who she is, as she is a shadowy substance of a creature who has been produced from the wanting of her to just be so. It is not that she is female, but the female aspect does apply, as I and numerous others know that I have experienced her. When I took on the Rod of Power in 2001, I was first introduced to the influence by the boys, the guides. Since then, she has tried to sway me from presenting the real truth to this world, because she works with those who do not want what I'm presenting to be known. She loves Gerald's crony because crony loves her. The dark side, the dualistic forces, is as automatic as the sun shining, as this force creates all the Maya in the 3 lower levels. It is not that it's a bad thing in any sense, but that it operates in the passing dream of the physical realm and the 2 heavens of man. The religions have put a label to it and personified it as the devil, but it is actually a force that is part of the creative nature that we reside with while in the psychic world. as each of us has a body here and simply needs to recognize the influence, and then we can consciously deal with it without any harm. The belief systems do not understand their own gods and how they really work, as their gods play both sides of the portrayal of life. Just as the Republicans and the Democrats appear to be in opposition, and the influence is everywhere with what is taking place. But once the person experiences the behind the scenes, the illusions they see here is all but the same contrived setup. Here again is where a person can believe whatever they want to about, but it doesn't make it so. Do you have any comments on that?
Do you have anything on that?
About the influence?
It seems like it's something that is affecting mankind a lot, and for a long time, maybe ever since we've been in this psych realm stuff.
Also, going back to the willingness, we have to be willing to have this reality come and guide us, because it won't interfere with our free will, our free choice. And if we have an attitude that doesn't care, it won't bother us. It's not trying to coerce us or make us more aware. It's just our willingness to become more aware that is key. Allowing it to come in and showing itself to us. So the guides are the same. They're not going to coerce anybody to do anything, except maybe a few exceptions where they did coerce Ava's, I guess, boyfriend to leave the corporation, so that Ava would leave too, and so she could get a better position to meet Dwayne. I mean, there's sometimes where they do things that are a little bit assertive. Another thing they did was to move the universes over, or shift the universes, and this is not only the real guides, but I think it was like 2,000 silent ones. There's the real guides, and there's the silent ones who are even more with the is. They're more even more detached, you could say, from human endeavors, and they more are running the universe. Well, they were involved in this too, but there was a big shift. They shifted the galaxy or the universe somehow over a bit. So the purpose was to give us more time, because time is running out on the earth and even the creation world. So they shifted it so we have more time. And this is an example of how they are creative too. They can use their imagination and create in creation to do certain things. And some of the things we're doing on a galactic level are in that realm too. That it's your imagination. There's so much more even that we can imagine, and that's not even the is. But it's our imagination has been stomped on here and controlled with the controllers, but even our imagination, there's so much more that we can use it for. And it's things like this, the real guides move the universe over. I'm not sure how to articulate it. Move the galaxy, universe, or the idea was to give us more time, to give the humans more time to wake up, because things are running their course.
The rep system cited their gods to be according to how they want them to be, as so many of the little humans on the earth are like bratty teenagers and want their way. Many people play up to the gods of man, but the gods already know to be sneaky tricks, and they'll do this to the humans, and they'll always try. Many times the gods do play along because they know that whatever direction the little-minded humans take, they will end up with more karma and more grief, which means more lifetimes trolling those unaware humans who, in their own minds, seem to know so much. Rebazar once took me on one of many journeys to the meetings of the secret societies, as he called them, and showed me who some of the people were and what they were doing. I didn't recognize most of them, but I did see the most popular of politicians at this meeting, which is one of the many that he took me to, so that I could see the true nature of what is taking place with the systems of the earth. One of the interesting aspects of what he was showing me was all the very subtle tap lines which were running from the backs of these people and then out of the building and into various parts of the world to all those who were connected to these people. These people do not have any idea what's happening with them, just like a person can have a cancer growing in them, which may not be detected for years. This is why your dream visions can save your life here. So many of those politicians, honestly, they don't know what they're doing, really. They're allowing themselves to be puppets of the So the gods of man have three basic parts: the front, or the appearance, that the audience sees as benevolent, more so the idea of believing in something. Secondly is the restrictiveness, which is a regulatory fear generating aspect of people with their faith. And as much people are taught to fear their gods, you're going to put the fear of God in you. Third is the influence, which the followers want and hope will be around to provide what is needed as long to worship something, which gets back to the invented idea of belief again. The church uses a benevolent head to the crowd, like the Pope does as he appears on the onlookers and acts the humble servant of his lords and masters. Then, as a trap is set, those who agree are plagued with the restrictiveness and implemented with all the rules and regulations and intimidated into agreeing with the ancient rewritten doctrines and the gods who look down on humans to make sure they obey their taskmasters. With all of this, the influence has new people to play with and to keep subdued for as many lifetimes as possible. For nature to seduce and then control. These aspects are what make up the gods of man. And So most humans are at a particular position of awareness, which is basically physical and low mental. They cannot totally see what is taking place with all they have agreed to. They only see what they are shown, and they are not to ask questions. As all is a mystery that only the gods know, it is not that all of what I have described is bad, or any sense, no more than a crocodile living in the swamp. And if what the belief systems are proposing is a satisfactory lifestyle, then by all means, each person has a right to believe whatever they like. My position is to merely provide a comparison and more opportunities. But of course, those who rule will deny what I am presenting, and to be false and an illusion, whatever. I am not making up a commentary. I am only reporting the news as I experience it. All of us are in the same life. And as we exercise our free will, we decide the choices that we make. As I am providing all this information, it can then be tested by anyone to see that it is true and real. Those who fall prey to the effects of what the belief system proposed, grabbing a live wire soon experience their own demise according to the choices and involvement a person has made. And so it's a matter of becoming more aware and not one of rebellion. The history of the church is one of a convincing warfare, and that is, if there was anyone out there who did not believe or agree with their policies, then they were hunted and exterminated. It is not a matter of repenting, as so many have been led to believe, but one of gaining a real ability to be indifferent to the blindness that most people like to involve themselves with. Most want the influence in their lives, and so it continues to exist for a lot of unaware people. And when the time comes for all to start showing up, they do not know where to turn, as they usually go to religion, which is oversaturated with the influence. It is the seductive side that looks so pleasing and helpful, and it is what people hope to be a part of and accepted with. This is the earth, and this is how it will always be. So those who are the peacemakers and wanting to be at peace are usually working hard in hand with the belief system as a ploy to those humans who will listen to their propaganda. The real universal guides are extraordinary and far above the influence. And what is being created from the unusual humans and the unaware humans on this level and the two heavens of man, they are directed to the all is and real freedom.